I'm not mentally prepared to talk any wrestling at all.
It's okay.
Whatsoever.
We can talk about wrestling and
Let's
have
just see
fun.
what
Oh
happens.
my God, Tim's here.
No way, Emil's here?
Oh shit.
Oh fuck. Wow. Welcome to Kickout Club Wrestling Podcast. My name is Tyler. Yer.
That's
and
Tim.
I'm joined this week.
We have no notes.
Yeah.
We're skipping
We have
the intro
no-
today. We have no...
I literally just got off work like an hour ago. My lighting looks like ass.
Same.
Yeah. You know, we're going to just see how this goes.
Yeah.
I just bought a ticket to AEW Dynamite in Boston in April. And the interesting thing is that it's at the MGM Center at Fenway. And it's like a theater show. It's like even more of a theater than NXT was. The ring is going to be in the GA pit. I got a ticket in the mezzanine level, the first balcony level, because there's 3 tiers. There's floor and 2 balcony. I got the middle balcony because I'm not paying more than $100 to see AEW. And even then, some of the balcony seats were $100. But yeah, I paid $87.30 for one night, and I'm still debating whether or not I buy a ticket to Collision the night after for the same price.
So you bought it in a cool venue. I will say I've been to that venue. I saw a band there, and it's a cool venue. I don't know what the point of AEW going there is. Actually, I do. It's a smaller venue, and they need to keep doing things like that for their TV because their TV sucks.
Because they're on par with NXT.
Well, I wouldn't.
They are.
No.
They are.
I'm not even saying they are. I think they're
Not
lesser.
Oh,
think
I mean,
they're
they
lower.
like as a business standpoint, from a
business,
fan base,
sure.
from a financial standpoint,
the
from like a
Yeah,
appetite.
the problem
Five.
I see with what AEW is doing, and I understand they want to tackle smaller venues. It's cheaper to go to. You're expecting to sell out there, right? So gate's going to be better. But, the ratio of that is, like a 2-to-1 if you think about it, compared to if they did like. Well, they can't do TD Garden because I think they have an exclusivity thing with WWE, right? But if they did
No,
some
that
other,
used to be a thing. I think
they used to be a thing.
out.
They just can't.
it used to be a thing.
Right?
WWE used to have an agreement, and then like I think since AEW started doing shows at the Garden, the Garden probably pushed back and
they
were
did
like,
TD
no, you can't do
last
that.
year for Mercedes' debut.
For
right?
Mercedes.
Yeah. Anyway, so their whole approach here screams one of two things. It's either we're downsizing to try and save money and hopefully use that for something bigger, or we're downsizing because we don't know what the fuck to do anymore. Because hearing that it's at the MGM and on Fenway, and I've never been to the venue, but I've heard it's really cool in there. If they're going to have the ring on the floor, seats around it, and you're going to have balcony seating, right, as the theater does, and then we're assuming that the ramp is going to be set up on stage, and so Gorilla and Talent.
Oh, that's true. They could do it that way. They
The
could do
reason
it
I'm
that way.
saying yeah, and the reason I'm saying this is because this is something that a lot of indies used to do way back pre-pandemic.
Well, didn't PWG used to do that a lot?
So
PWG was
used
one
to
of them.
do that. PWG was big doing that in Reseda. I have seen that work with Progress Wrestling. The last time they were in Toronto, this is years ago. It was like 2019.
Wow, that's a name I haven't heard in years.
Right? But Progress and Smash, the local indie here in Toronto, did a collaborative show together, and they did the same thing where they had booked like a well-known venue, like a performance venue in Toronto. They used the floor for the ring. They had seating around it, but then they had wrestlers coming from the ramps. Smash used to do that a lot back in the day before they had to move to the rec room. This is an indie move. This is strange for a company that is owned by a madman billionaire.
They're supposed to be the competition.
Right. They're supposed to be the competition. And if the competition...
So the bigger thing that they were saving for is a bigger ring, because apparently they had the small ring.
apparently they have a small ring at Grand Slam.
So yeah, I
Right.
do have some context on that. So when they were doing the Grand Slam
rented
show,
from a
they
local-
rented a local indie ring, and the ring is 2 feet by 2 feet smaller than the regulation ring. And a lot of the talent is used to that regulation ring. Case in point, Buddy Matthews posted on Twitter at some point, and I think he went and deleted that tweet after the fact, that he broke his ankle because of the ring being smaller. He didn't account for the size difference and broke his ankle. And it just goes to show, like, AEW creating more problems for itself than it needs, than it really could be having right now. They have an unlimited pool of wealth to pull from, and they decided to go cheap, not ship a regulation ring, and rent a small one from an indie federation.
It's
So-
almost sad. Like
It's not almost. It actually is sad when you think about it. And I don't want to have to keep harping on them like this, and I really don't want to, but You know, when I went to World's End in December at the end of the year, I went with my sister, and they had the show at the University of Central Florida's basketball arena, which I think seats like 8,000 people or something like that. Anyway, cool venue, but you know, we got in and I knew what was going on. Like they've been downsizing a lot, but my sister was watching everything going on. She goes, "Well, why are they downsizing?" And I go, "Well, to be realistic, is because they haven't been able to sell well in actual arenas, right? Like they can't do Scotiabank here in Toronto anymore because they just can't fill out Scotiabank. They could barely fill out Coca-Cola Coliseum, which is half the size in Toronto." And her point very simply was, well, yeah, but that's what happens when you spend all your money on big name talent. You kind of forget to allocate budget and funding to things that are important to the show, like, you know, production, ring size, things like that. And yeah, we give WWE crap about it, where, oh, you spent all this money on all this talent, but half of them were sitting in catering. AEW, don't
Not
know if the
anymore.
number is true or not. Not anymore. But AEW supposedly had spent about $7 million on getting Osprey, Okada, and Mercedes Moné. I don't know the exact number, but that's a ridiculous number. And
know
yeah,
how to feel
$7
about
million
that.
is, I know, and that's, you know, that much money seems like chump change for a billionaire like Tony, but hey, you kind of got to spend money on, you know, you got the broadcasting deal done, great, but when you're doing a big show, and Grand Slam Australia was a TV special, you should probably have spent the money to get a proper size ring, you know, maybe bring this up to your talent, maybe make sure that these things are done before you get there.
You could run a rehearsal. Do they run
You could
rehearsals
run a
in AEW?
rehearsal. Yeah, I don't know if they
Like,
do rehearse, but
You hear about WWE rehearsal all the time. Like, even back when they weren't peeling the curtain like they do now, like, you heard about rehearsal.
Even when the ring is regulation size. Like,
yeah, well, that too. I mean, you
But-
hear about rehearsal all the time, but, like, what happened? So I'm convinced that AEW hates money, which is very weird.
I mean, I don't know if it's that they hate money. I think that they're
They hate
just.
money.
I think
I fully agree with that.
I
think
think
they
they
hate
hate
money.
money.
Here's the problem.
They
And
purely
this is-
hate money, and they're purely marks.
I think they're just
Yeah, that
lazy.
too.
I think it's just
That also.
laziness.
There's
It's
a
that they have so
myriad
much
of-
money they don't need to put the effort in.
So that brings a good point. I got to point to the right side. This brings up such a great quote from Will Ospreay about 2 years ago on an interview he did with, I think, Chris Van Vliet. But Chris asked him, you know, if he's willing to work with AEW and what's the coolest thing about working with AEW and like Tony and all that. And I'm paraphrasing here, but Will said something along the lines of, AEW is so interesting because Tony's just a wrestling fan with a shit ton of money that just does whatever he wants. Therein lies the problem, in that Tony doesn't really care about making the money. He just wants to make, quote unquote, the best product available. But they're cutting a lot of corners.
Which doesn't even work
No.
because nobody's watching the product. Like,
Because
they're
the
not-
product. Say it with me.
Sucks.
is
It's
ass.
ass.
It's
Product is
bad.
ass.
It's a
It's
bad
bad.
product. And not only that, but there's bad live experiences. And they have more bad live experiences. They're moving people who buy ringside seats at whatever their premium price is. I don't believe that $87.
Well, if it's
is the
Collision,
premium
it's like
price.
$100.
Or, I mean, for Dynamite,
Which is
it was like
insane.
$80, which is the tickets that I bought. I couldn't believe this. I was like, there's no way we keep moving these people from ringside. People are spending their hard-earned cash to watch the backup at ringside, which is fine if you're a fan of pro wrestling, which usually AEW is a sweatier crowd, and that's fine. And for somebody like me, I can't afford WWE Raw ringside seats. I can't do it. $2,000 for ringside seats, I'm cool, fam. Very cool. But
Especially for a Raw. Especially
Yeah,
for a
like-
Raw.
Like if you're
I mean,
getting
WWE's hot.
ringside
I get it. So, but then $80 for about the same amount of travel that I would have to do to go to a Raw for an AEW, where I could sit ringside. And there are people in AEW that I do like. I think I'm the only one on here who may actually portray themselves as even.
Oh, I like Adam
remotely a fan
Copeland,
of AEW.
and I like Cope. I like Mox.
I like Edge. I don't like Cope. I like Edge.
I like him as a person. I think he deserves a job. I think
love Adam
I think his
Copeland
talents
as
are
a human
wasted
being.
over there right now.
Yes,
I
absolutely.
like Christian Cage.
Fair. I think there are like a lot of really interesting talent over there that you don't get in WWE. And so I was like, I'll pay $100 to sit ringside at a Dynamite. Abso-fucking-lutely. It's cheap-ish, like depending on where your budget is. Fits my budget. I get ringside. I may get on camera. I could take a sign. I could promo us. I could do a lot of things, right? I could enjoy myself to the greatest level. And then they push me over off on the fucking side. I'm like, for what? And apparently that's what they're doing again here at this Grand Slam event in Australia. People who are paying their hard-earned money to sit ringside and then getting moved. I don't like that. I don't care what your reasoning is. Sometimes I get that if like an empty arena looks bad, but like, are we compensating? I didn't get compensated for my tickets. I did not. I feel like I should.
Oh, you didn't?
I did not.
Yikes. Okay.
I did not.
No.
I did not. I was and like it was already a bad show. It's already a rough product around the
Also,
end.
not for
If you're not a
nothing.
hardcore fan. Like I don't understand it. Like they hate money.
Yeah.
I'm convinced.
Oh.
They showed the CM Punk stuff after the fact when they could have showed it beforehand because it actually probably would have made them a ton of money. Like that whole story could have gotten them a ton of money if everybody wanted to get on the same page.
I think for
right?
legal reasons they probably couldn't show it, but I understand where you're
Whatever.
coming from with it. I understand where you're coming from
just-
with it.
There's a lot of like things over the years. This Mox story could have made a ton of money if they wanted to do it right. Like they just don't seem to like money. They don't seem to want anything good to last in that company. And it's really sad
Because it's not about money. It's not about money. It's about Tony Khan and his toy box. That's what it's about.
fine, which
Let me,
could even be fine because it could even still make money. Let me finish this point because
Sure.
I'm
Yeah,
paraphrasing some things that we were talking about when we saw all these things. Where I was like, this could still be a good alternative, right? Like WWE shows up really Monday and Friday, right? Nowadays, they've cut way back on what they do. There's way less TV, which is fantastic, by the way. And there's less PLEs and stuff. So like, there's less WWE. So like, sometimes after 3 hours on a Monday and you wait a couple days, you're actually kind of ready to watch more wrestling. There's no WWE on Wednesday. I'll go watch Dynamite. Fuck it. I want to watch wrestling. I like the sport. I like the entertainment of it. But it's just not a good alternative. And it's the only other game in town because WWE and AEW are starting to swallow up all of the other little places and making them affiliates. Ring of Honor's over with AEW and TNA's with WWE. Evolve just went to WWE. I think PW does do those still
PWG's
exist over
dead.
there in the UK?
Progress is still
does any
around,
of
but PWG is dead.
So right, and they I think work still with WWE. New Japan works with AEW, right? Like, and New Japan's getting swallowed up. Like, you're losing wrestling, and you're losing international wrestling. So it's gonna like if this works out the way that it could. AEW and WWE could really be the only games in town. So by like the end of the decade, right? And that's a really interesting point too. And they just refuse to be the good alternative, and they hate money. I'm convinced.
The problem I see with AEW, and I have noticed this more and more over the last couple of years, and when I started getting on the hype train when they became a company in 2019, I was very gung ho, minus some creative decisions here and there, but what baffles me is their pay-per-views will be either a banger or they'll have like something on there that's a banger that all the marks go crazy for, that Dave Meltzer goes crazy for, right? Because they're aiming for the marks. That's what they want. They want the marks to be watching. Otherwise, on a show like Wrestle Dynasty last year, or Dynasty, whatever it was called, we don't get Danielson versus Ospreay. We don't get, blah versus blah. We don't get the 1 hour long MJF versus Ospreay on a Dynamite kind of thing. They like to have their bangers on their major shows, and then everything in between, the Dynamites and the Collisions, and Rampage is dead now, so who gives a shit about Rampage? It's a slow burn, and I never understand why they aren't able to push that momentum further on their show and make the show actually watchable for people to want to then tune in to those pay-per-views that happen. Because part of it has to do with storytelling, part of it has to just do with the way that everything's being booked, and this all kind of aligns with one of my favorite things I've ever heard. If anyone follows hockey, there's a great front office member named Brian Burke. Fuck off, Tyler. But Brian
I
Burke,
lost my Four Nations parlay.
did you really?
I did. I
darn.
bet USA over Sweden. Oops.
Fair. But Brian Burke used to say something, because he's been the GM for a lot of teams, and he's been a GM for a lot of franchises that have eventually folded. And something he said was, most billionaires are idiots. And he's learned this because he's worked for a bunch of them, right? Because you're not broke if you own a hockey team. But most billionaires are idiots. A lot of them end up buying a team, whether it be baseball, soccer, hockey, football, whatever it might be, not to actually run the team and, succeed. It's to just get on the paper. It's to make headlines. So for Tony, right, the easiest thing he could do with all his billions of dollars and his football team owning dad, what's up, Shad, is get on the paper. And how do you make headlines like that? Oh, here's what you do. Billionaire owns wrestling company, not named the WWE. It's just to make headlines, right? Like, at the end of the day, if that's what AEW is going for, they're doing a good job, but they're doing a shitty job at the same time because they're not making the headlines they want. Nothing's positive about this right now. Cool. Well, you've got some of the greatest talent on the planet on that roster. Use them properly. All right? Use them properly. You have...
But Yusuf, they have Chris Jericho.
I said some of.
This is why John Moxley went there in the first place.
Yeah.
Because of Chris Jericho?
No.
I'm kidding.
This situation that they seem to put themselves in right now, like, this is why John Moxley left WWE in the first place and why he's here right now, right? This is why he's their top babyface. I would love to hear.
He's
what
their
John
top
Moxley
heel,
has to
actually.
say.
He's their top heel now, but
I'm
when
kidding.
he showed
I
up,
bet
he
yes,
was their
at the
top
time.
babyface.
Trolling,
I
but
would-
yes, at the time.
I would love
Tyler
to know what
thinks
John
he's
Moxley
funny.
thinks now, 6 years later, after leaving. Like, he hated all this bad booking and like this just bad TV and like nonsensical TV.
And
now he's attempting and has attempted for years to save this company, and
We've talked about it, right? Every time something bad happens, we're like, "Damn, why is AEW just like exactly how WWE was during the Vince era, like the end of the Vince era?"
Because the same thing happened with WCW. WCW had their good moments. Boy, did they have their bad moments. When they had their bad moments, everyone looked at WCW and went, "Oh, this is like when the WWF had their bad moments." History is repeating itself in the worst way possible, and I don't want that to happen to AEW because there's so many great talent. And the whole thing with Moxley, WWE gets it right. Their world champion is the epicenter of what's going on, right? AEW, John Moxley's holding the title. No one gives a shit because Death Rider's story is bland. And also, Tim and I complained about this on an episode we did a while ago, but the fact that they actively know that the guy they want to dethrone Moxley is taking time off until June or July because he's going to go climb Mount Everest. We're going to wait
conveniently
5 months.
There's a big show though at the end of July.
Right. That's the thing.
Will they do things right though?
Will they do things right? I don't think so. But, but okay, but here's the thing. If he's back in June, you have a month, maybe less than that, because All In is on the 12th of July. You have less than a month, assuming when Darby gets back, to get the entire crowd and like all fans of AEW on the side of Darby's going to dethrone John Moxley in 3 weeks, 4 weeks time. That's not a lot of time.
Nope.
And while he's gone, they're not making mention of Darby and things like that. It's just like you have so many other options. Please, for the love of God, look at those options. It's the same way I look at the women's division right now. Harley Cameron has got my attention like crazy. Harley Cameron's great. Young talent, super talented. I really wish she dethroned Mercedes Moné at Grand Slam Australia, because
I would actually love if they would tell an original story though.
That too.
Was Harley not the sidekick of Mercedes that now rose up and became their own character and now
Tyler,
wants
that's
to
crazy.
challenge for the champion?
It's
that sounds
almost-
very
it's
much
almost
I
like
love
that
Damien
sounds-
Sandow.
I
That
love
sounds
Mariah
almost
May
like,
and Tony
Tony
Storm.
I love Damian Sandow.
I love that
That
story.
sounds-
happened about 10 years before.
This is another
That's the
problem.
thing.
They
It's just
took the
they're
one story that
recycling
worked for
everything.
them in the last year, and they're like, let's just do it again with
Run
these
it back.
people instead.
Run
Run
it
it
back,
back.
boys. Run
I
it
want to
back.
bring
It's
up a
not-
conversation. My brother,
place, same
my brother
place.
and I are having a conversation right now in the middle of it. Because I was telling him that I bought the Dynamite tickets, and this guy is probably in my life the closest thing to a casual fan. He has a wife and son, and he's very busy. Shout out Lance. But yeah, so we're talking about AEW. He's an AEW mark. He loves AEW more than WWE, or he did. He likes the characters more. He likes the wrestling more. He likes the vibe more. He likes the underdog of any story. So of course he's more AEW than WWE. I told him that I am going to Dynamite, and he said, after Grand Slam, unprovoked, by the way, I didn't even. I told him I was debating whether I'd buy a ticket for Collision the next night, and he goes, after Grand Slam, I don't think I'll be giving any more money to AEW for a while. And I said, wow. And he said, they really make it hard to support them. LOL, shrug emoji. I go crazy. LOL, they're a mess right now. He said, and he said some good. This is like some good level shit here. Their booking. This is a casual fan. Their booking is terrible. Their stories are garbage. Favorites never win, and Mercedes and Okada are still the champs. Come on. I like the wrestlers. It's the booking and writing I'm sick of, and that's from a casual fan. And even the marks are in the same boat. Like this is a mark take said by a casual, and that's when it's really bad.
It's bad.
That's when it's bad.
Sucks for them, but they won't go out of business because they do have money.
When you lose, my brother, you fucked up. You fucked up. He just got back into wrestling this past year.
So we made an interesting point that Darby Allin might come back in June, which gives him about 4 weeks to become the man who's supposed to dethrone Jon Moxley.
Not happening.
And we're saying that's not a lot of time. Here's something that might have too much time. So let's talk about it. Let's kind of get out of the AEW murky waters.
Oh, can I just make a quick prediction before we jump over there?
The grass is greener and there's a buy one, get one free extravaganza.
I love it. Before we do that, I just want to say my prediction for the end of Moxley's title reign is that Cope does it. They're going with the safe route. I think it's Cope. I think they're going to go with I think they're going to pull the trigger on Cope, and then Christian cashes in the thing.
Christian cashes in because he's still.
And then we get Edge and Christian for the world title in 2025.
The old heads.
In 2025.
The old boys in 2025.
Anyway, go ahead, Emil. Take it away.
All right. Well, that was a great segue that you ruined because you had to double back.
Well, I wanted to speak.
Fair enough. All right. So things that take too much time or that are going to have too much time right now include this Gunther and Jey Uso match. All right. So hot take. We just did the same thing this week that we just did last week. Cut the same promo. Just a tag team guy. All right, I got it. All right, we had another pull apart brawl. All right, cool. We still rolling. We're still rinse and repeat to me. Sounds like rinse and repeat to me.
Okay, so
I'm not doing this for 10 weeks.
So let me explain why you're wrong. Last week, Jay came out and it started a promo. And Gunther came out and interrupted. This week, it's very simple too.
Don't
very simple.
Don't flip the roles and say that it's different. It's not.
It is different. Gunther never does an entrance the way that Jay does, and Gunther did that and came out and cut a promo as he came down to the ring and grilled Michael Cole and Pat McAfee and was like, "You guys are supposed to be unbiased, and you guys are two of the biggest Jey Uso fans. Do you think that I could beat Jey Uso?" And I will say the promo did not work for me, and there's one reason and one reason only, and it has nothing to do with Jay and nothing to do with Gunther. It was Pat McAfee. Pat ruined it. Pat was not taking that seriously. Yeah, yeet here, yeet there. Yeah, I think he could beat you. Like, dude, just say he can't beat him. You are the biggest Jay supporters in the room. The most entertaining angle would be to stack the deck against Jay and say, you know, you're right, Gunther. You're right. Jay is one of our faves, but Jay is no match for you.
Wait, stop. So we wanted him to be so Gunther is asking them to be unbiased, right? So
yeah.
him saying, I don't know, anything can happen on any given night. That's unbiased. That's what Gunther wanted. So Pat did exactly what he was asked for.
But that was the least entertaining outcome, and he made it not fun, and he made it not serious. He made He made it not serious. He made it not serious.
May I? I don't know if we're fully needing a Pat McAfee being serious in this feud. because unfortunately, at the end of the
think that
day,
could sell it.
no. Yeah, you could. You very well could, but that's kind of not his job.
So don't make it his
I
job.
agree.
So don't make it his job.
I don't
Right,
think they're
that's
really.
the-
I don't think.
I
I don't
don't-
think they're
I don't
going to
think
dig
they're-
on this Pat McAfee angle. I
Yeah,
really
they're not
don't.
gonna dig on
think-
that,
I
but-
think. I don't even think
I'm-
that was probably.
I mean,
planned.
they don't have
think-
to, but I am. They don't have
and,
to.
fine,
And,
that's
and,
fine.
and this makes Gunther the towering, scary heel that he's supposed to be because
Thank you.
Pat was also being scared. Now, Pat McAfee being scared of
Cutting-
Gunther is
making-
whatever.
Making the joke
like,
of a yeet here, a yeet there. That wasn't. He didn't seem very scared when he's willing to crack jokes.
he literally was like. Nah,
I think
no,
Pat
no, no,
not
no,
be.
no,
I
no,
think
no, no,
Pat
no,
no.
no, 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 no,
I
I'm not
think
buying that.
Pat.
That's nervous energy. That's nervous energy.
It's not.
It is.
Pat
It
is always
It is.
funny. Pat is always funny. I think if he was the
He
juxtaposition,
was
in
nervous. He was playing a nervous character.
May I finish? I think him being serious in that moment would have sold that more than him being, oh, yeet here or yeet there. Yeah, I think he could beat you.
But it wasn't meant to be funny. Like Pat.
I know,
is-
and that's why I'm mad about it.
No, but he was no. So you're not understanding me then, because Pat, right, is getting intimidated by Gunther, right? That's the goal. Gunther's approaching him every time he does this yeet thing, and he approaches him, and Michael Cole's like, "Yo, you gotta chill, man. Gunther's gonna kick your little ass," right? That's what it is. So, and every time he does that, and every time he gets something thrown at him, he kind of backs off and he gets a little scared. He is supposed to be the heel. Like, he's lovable, and we like Pat, but he's the heel. He's supposed to be the Jerry Lawler of this shit, right?
So why did he say that
And
Jay's gonna win?
Jerry Lawler cheered for The Rock as a face.
Okay.
Nailed it and won. You're welcome.
No.
This was nervous energy. This was not him, like, playing around and not taking it seriously. This is him being threatened. Gunther's the threat.
Well, I didn't like it.
You cannot like it. That's a different conversation, but at least interpret it right, please.
I interpreted it right. That's how I interpreted it. There is no right way to interpret.
Yeah, my fault. It's imperfect.
No, you're fine. You're fine. But like, in all seriousness, though, I think it would have been interesting if they're gonna have Pat behave that way, right? Fine, right? But at least have Michael be like, whoa, Pat, come on. I've been doing this for a long time. I've been doing this longer than you have.
He did.
No, but I mean, like, on the microphone and make it a point to be like, no, Pat, you've been doing this for a minute, but I've been doing this for years.
Cole was
And-
also getting threatened. Cole was scared. He wasn't trying to talk at all. That was the
Yeah,
point.
But
He
I
was
think
threatening the announce team.
that the
I think
lasting
that went right
impression.
over your head.
It didn't go over my head. It just didn't go. It didn't go the way I wanted it to go. The way it should have gone. Why are you now defending the segment that you said you hated?
Why am I? Well, I'm not going to defend something I don't agree with. I don't like the segment either. I think we're both there.
So
on
just
that. I
stop
don't like
defending
either.
it. So stop defending it.
But I just don't interpret it that
You
way.
just want to argue. You just want to argue.
Maybe.
I'm trying to relate to you by saying here's what I think went wrong with it. But anyway, listen.
Wait.
thought
We're
the
not going to skip past the fact that you said this wasn't rinse and repeat, though. This is still rinse and repeat.
It wasn't. Were the commentators involved last week? Did Pat McAfee have a microphone last week? Did Jay go to Pat? Did Jay go to Pat McAfee? Did Jay go to Pat? No. Did Jay go to Pat McAfee and say Pat, am I going to beat Gunther?
Look at the middle.
It's just a yes or no answer.
Look at Yusuf. Did he? No, not specifically. No.
Okay,
No,
word.
no. You're right.
Did Jay come out down the ramp to like orchestral music and like classical intense music and walk down there all pissed off?
No, you're right.
Thank you.
Did they cut?
Did
the same
Jay say-
exact promo
did
that,
Jay
wait,
say-
Wait, answer. Wait, I have a question. Wait.
Oh, I had a funny one. Come on.
Oh,
Did
come
Jay-
on, make me laugh.
Did Jay walk by a little boy and tell him to fuck off so he could get out of the way?
That's wait. He told him fuck off.
He didn't say fuck off, but he was like, "Can you get out of the way, little man, before something
yeah.
happens to you?"
I must have missed that part.
It was
while I
funny.
was
It's
watching.
okay. It's okay.
What was that? So, but okay. So let's get down to the nitty gritty of it. Right?
Sure.
Let's get down to the real conversation. Was
Now
the
that
content
that's
the
over.
same in this promo?
No, it wasn't.
Did we watch the same Jey Uso promo? Or am I tripping? Was I high? No, I actually wasn't.
Gunther started it. Jay started it last week.
I'm not taking a swap in who comes out first and calling it different. I'm not.
Gunther also mocking the entrance of Jay was a key element there. It was a key element. He wanted to get a sense of Jay coming out from the crowd and from the fans so he could rag on the fans and be how Gunther is, because that's the point. Gunther was himself.
Which he ragged on him already for liking Jey Uso. And
yeah, now he did it in his own way.
The only difference is he came out first and he came out through the crowd. That's all that's different to me. Other than
Okay.
that, same shit.
Okay.
And I'm not doing this for 10 weeks.
It's also only week 2 of build as well
yeah,
out of a
I
10-week
understand
build.
that, but right now it's like middle of February, and WrestleMania is in the middle of April.
Dog, there have been plenty of feuds where there have been pull-apart brawls back-to-back weeks and you didn't complain. There's been plenty in the history of wrestling.
And oh yes, no.
KO and Cody, they had pull-apart brawls back-to-back weeks. You didn't complain. You probably didn't even watch it.
I didn't watch it, so I can't complain about what I didn't watch.
Exactly.
Go ahead, Yusuf.
But no, wait, I want it. No, I'm just kidding. Go ahead, Yusuf.
No. You can finish your point.
I didn't have one.
Good. Okay. How do I word this? I know. It feels. You remember back in the day when a major feud was happening for a world title, and every week was just felt like the same fucking thing over and over and over again. It felt like Groundhog Day, right? I've watched the promo, pieces of it, and it's kind of feeling Groundhog Day-ish. My whole thing is, I know you guys are, Tyler's point of like, oh, but this isn't blah, 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 KO Sammy, blah, 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 pull apart brawls, blah, 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 blah. Get it, right. However, at least with the KO Sammy feud right now, there's a new layer being added every week leading up to the eventual match. The Gunther Jay stuff, to me, they're not really adding anything, more they're just embellishing. What the fuck is... Oh, there's an old joke. It's like, you go into the woods because you thought you found something magical, you found out it was just a turd, and that turd is, like, sparkly for some reason. They're just embellishing the turd. And it's not to say this is a bad feud. The Jay Gunther thing, not to say at all this is a bad feud, but it just feels like every week it's just the same fucking thing over and over again of Gunther going, Jay, you suck. Bitch. And Jay being like, I got you, man. Blah, 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 blah. Hurrah, yeet, hurrah. And, like, it's the same thing. It's just the same thing over and over. But they're just adding new elements to it. They're not... Oh, sorry. No, not even adding. They're just embellishing.
I was going to say, hold on.
Oh.
Because he's gonna call you out on that Newport.
Oh, I know. Yeah. They're embellishing things just around the same nucleus of promo every single week so far. They've been doing this since Saturday Night's Main Event. It's just, like, what more can you do to amplify this? We're not trying to just make it look shinier. We're trying to make it look bigger. We're trying to make it be bigger than it already is, because this is probably going to be a main event match on the first night of WrestleMania.
You know why it's bigger? Because he's actually going to win this time.
Yeah.
That's the only reason why it's bigger.
Right.
And this is and that's kind of boring.
No.
You guys must be new. You guys must be new around here. We're in Triple H's WWE. You know how long shit takes to cook?
Well, yeah. But still.
You know how much time we have?
3 weeks off.
You know how much time we have?
This could take 3 weeks off. I'm not doing this for 10 weeks.
Here's the thing. I agree with you.
This is a bit of time.
I agree with you that if they were going to do this, maybe they should have had Jay wait to challenge Gunther till after Chamber, because it comes to the detriment of the Chamber match. Because now we have a Chamber match where... Yeah, okay, I got you. Now we have a Chamber match where it's like, okay, the winner faces Cody. It's fairly obvious out of this field who's going to win. However, if Jay did not challenge Gunther, there would still be a chance that some of the people in the Chamber could win, plausibly, set up a match with Gunther at Mania. You have Drew, you have Damian, you have Logan Paul, you even have CM Punk. You even have Cena. Every single person in this Chamber match could realistically win it, and Seth, and challenge Gunther for the world title. But instead, they've kind of already put that out of the way by having Jay challenge Gunther and do it that way. Honestly, my ideal situation would have been after the first pull-apart brawl last week, Jay challenged Gunther. Because at least we would have the back-to-back pull-apart brawls. One of them would have ended with him challenging Gunther, and the next one would have been the one we got this week.
Wait, he did. That is what happened, isn't it?
That is what... Oh, is that what happened? Okay. I thought it was 2 weeks ago.
No, it was last week.
Okay, word. Thank you. But anyway...
Two
so
weeks
there is
ago.
something different. Look at that. We got a challenge last week, and this week we got Gunther doing the ramp. But anyway,
no, because we're still relying on the whole Gunther being like, "LOL, Jay, you suck" as a singles wrestler thing.
But that's the story. What else do you want them to talk about?
So
how do we? My point
doing for 10
though
weeks?
is it is okay. So here's the thing. At
It's
the time
February.
At the time of us recording this, it is the 19th of February. WrestleMania is in 2 months.
It's on 420.
That's correct. Thank you. That is correct.
We have 2 months to try and build
To have new stories that
And
you want them to tell.
episodes. So this is actually kind of starting to become like a larger issue of things. Like we're very understanding of Triple H's booking at this point. I think we all we know Triple H's style, and he's not really hiding it. I actually forgot about the fact that we just did these same promos on the build to Saturday night's main event. I had forgot about that. So
That's because that
thank you
shit's
for
barely
reminding me.
canon.
Yeah.
It might as well not be canon.
It's not
TBH.
canon. It's
They
not.
haven't really talked.
But-
We also
Braun
haven't really
no
talked
sold.
about it.
Braun no sold getting absolutely fucking murdered by Jacob Fatu.
We didn't talk about because we did this in the build up to the Saturday night's main event. He lost,
what
and
was
we're not
the
even talking
addendum?
about the fact yet. We haven't mentioned it yet. There's 10 weeks to cook.
Yep. Exactly. 10 weeks to not have pull apart
how
brawls.
No, that's fine. But how many
But
times?
we haven't
like,
mentioned
yes,
that he
the
lost.
story. Yeah, but the story is obviously Gunther being like, "LOL, you suck as a singles wrestler." I understand that that's the story of this feud. How do we, progress that story further without it just every week being "LOL, you suck" for 10 more weeks? Because there has to be.
I don't know. That's not my job to figure it out, to be honest.
I'm not
gonna wait till
asking if
I
it
see what
is,
they present
bitch.
me, and I'm gonna judge at that point. Okay.
Pod with us. Don't be like that.
Just saying. Personally, that's how I enjoy my wrestling. It's not my job.
Don't.
I know
pod
it's
with
not
me.
your. I'm not saying it is.
I know.
Not my
pod
job.
with me. Don't-
Not
don't do
Timmy's
that.
job. Timmy's over there.
I'm podding.
Not Timmy's job.
I'm podding. I just don't like to be pessimistic. I'm enjoying wrestling. Enjoying wrestling. It's how people like the wrestling.
So I think this is what I've learned. I think Saturday night's main event really did not matter.
Yeah, it fucking sucked.
It never does.
Fucking sucked.
Saturday night's main event does not make a difference for anything.
The only reason to watch is Jesse
Whatever.
Ventura. That's it.
Whatever.
It's the only reason.
This model definitely is not sustaining. But this is
No.
actually kind of a problem that I am starting to notice. We see the formula that we're doing here, right? We get it. We understand that Raw is very formulaic right now.
We hate Jey Uso.
I didn't say
No.
Coming off our
When-
last debate, I think it's just the Jey Uso hate.
that.
I'm
No,
chalking it up
I
to
don't
I don't
like
hate
that.
Jey Uso.
I'm chalking it up
Here's
to
something I actually do hate though.
it. Okay.
This little Finn and AJ rumor that's going on.
Yeah, it's a new
Not
rumor.
into
There's a new word on the street. Yusuf, want to take
So
that?
usually we
take
talk
that
about
away.
things that are official, but
God
here
damn it.
tonight we're not.
I wanted to
What?
throw Yusuf a bone and throw it in here this episode. Yusuf, take it away.
Oh my god, I actually get screen time on this damn show. Took long enough. So apparently there's a rumor that Finn and AJ are going to do a singles match at Mania. First time ever at WrestleMania. It's weird because they worded it first time ever. And I'm like, the fuck are they talking about? They've wrestled on WWE before. And then I realized.
Oh, wait a minute. Bray Wyatt got sick that one time.
Yeah, I know. All three of us watched
R.I.P.
it together. Why? Why? You could be doing so much more. And I know in our group chat I joke about it all the time, but there's so much more shit you could do with the two of them. Realistically, you don't have to put them against each other at Mania. It'll be a fun match if it happens. Like the wrestling part of it will be fun. Sure.
I feel like with the history that both of them have, we should have a story to tell with a feud between them.
Yeah, there should probably be some kind of story. Like, I don't know. You know what? Fuck. Like, what if you just spin it the other way? If you remember when Judgment Day started, Finn was trying to recruit AJ, right? But if AJ's like, no, I'm not joining you, you suck, blah, 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 blah. Spin it the other way around, where as the Judgment Day is starting to crumble, AJ's like, hey, Finny boy, you want to come hang out with me? I need some people to be around. And Finn's like, no, and then that leads to a match. Maybe you do that, but maybe you don't, because, again, we've got 2 months to do this, and I'm bored as shit if they do. If it happens, cool. If it doesn't, cool. Because you could have AJ Styles feud with Logan. You could have him feud with Braun Breaker for the IC title. You could have Finn enjoy nice catering.
Here's a match for Finn. Walk with me here.
Balor.
Nah, it's Finn Balor versus Dominic Mysterio at WrestleMania, and Dom gets a win finally.
That's the obvious.
We end the
choice, right?
Judgment
I feel
Day, but sometimes obvious is good. You know, the whole thing
and
with Judgment
I'm not
Day.
knocking that. Obviously,
No, for
I
sure,
understand that, but I think, you know, if you want to do something different, go ahead. But right now, Finn Dom should be like the match going forward, and they're not going to have it at Chamber because Chamber's almost full. I want to say, like, have it. At
I think it's
Mania,
full
Dom's
given the
number
card
one.
that they have lined up.
Yeah,
I mean,
we're full.
considering that men's match is going to be a long one.
So a couple takes for me. One, this is something I just immediately thought of. This is because they wanted to do KO and Sammy a month before. So we need another blood feud, but we can't just run back KO and Sammy again. Okay, I could live with that. We could do some fun things and tap into that AJ, Finn, and Liv little thing that they were doing like 5 years ago. We could always touch that we never really talk about or seem to acknowledge because that ended the same week it started. Overall, though, don't like it, don't need it, don't want it. And it's not that they could be doing something better. There's actually other stuff that needs to be on this card that isn't. And there are people on this card, very highly ranked people who we don't know what's going on with. That includes Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins, CM Punk, Drew McIntyre, Damian Priest, and more. So there are a lot of people in this chamber, this men's chamber, that will not have a match lined up after this chamber is over. And because of that, what are we doing with all those people? And those people, in my mind, have much more deserved spots on this card than Finn and AJ. Sorry. Love Finn, love AJ. Wrong time, wrong place.
Yeah, because like, what else are you gonna do, right? Again, you only got
This
so
men's
few
chambers match
options.
though is gonna go crazy.
That men's
Cena,
chambers
Punk,
match.
Priest, Rollins, Logan Paul, Drew McIntyre. This is gonna go stupid nuts. Cena's winning. LOL.
Once
This
again, WWE
has to be-
stacking the deck.
This has to be the most stacked
What
chamber match in
a
history, right?
Fucking match,
Yes.
and we get to see
Yeah,
it. This is
like-
gonna be fun. I'm
Wow.
gonna pop so hard. Cena's gonna enter in
The most
as
obvious
the
outcome,
first
unless
person
Cena
to-
loses.
Cena's gonna go all the way.
Yeah.
I think Cena could either win
either go all the
or
way
or
I think
be
Cena's
the
gonna
last
be runner-up
eliminated.
again. Yeah,
You think he's going to be runner up again?
I think Cena might be runner-up again.
I think him bullying his way into a triple threat is fun. However, the thing about this is we've been talking about Cody. Notice Cody's the afterthought right now. Notice both champions right now are kind of the afterthought. Interesting point of booking.
I don't know. I think Gunther's probably less of an afterthought.
Gunther's less of an afterthought than Cody.
because
is.
at least
Cody
he's
right now.
positioned
Because-
as like the
because we're
favorite.
kinda- because
Yeah.
Cody's in limbo, right? We kind of have to wait. We can't cook with Cody because Cody has to know who he's cooking for, right?
Yeah.
If he can't cook a steak for CM Punk, if the winner is going to be Jonathan, right? Like we can't have Cody do things until we have a winner. So fair enough. Cody's sitting around doing butt fuck all, but
Well, he's not. He's feuding with Solo again.
I don't. But fuck all. I'm
cop
staying
out
right-
button.
I'm staying right.
Ooh.
The
where I
cop
was.
out button.
Staying right where I was.
Yeah, fair.
But Cena bullying himself into a triple threat is a little upsetting. Only because we some of us really want to see Cody Rhodes break our hearts.
Wait, what do you mean by Cena bullying himself into a triple threat? You mean him losing and then-
Kind of like how Daniel Bryan somehow got his
Oh,
triple threat.
if a triple
that he
threat happens, it's
that he
because of
shouldn't-
it's the favor. It's Punk's
that,
favor.
that he shouldn't have gotten.
In my
If
opinion.
there's a triple threat, Punk's favor, but that also seems strange.
Lame.
and Also kind of lame. Really, I want Cody in a one-on-one match.
Yeah.
Although Cody has not done a multi-man match yet for his title, so it could make things kind of
That's a
interesting.
good point. He hasn't
But
yet.
It would make
But
things very
Cody-
interesting, especially considering it's Punk and Cena involved.
We personally would love to have Cody break our hearts in a one-on-one style. Or I would rather Cody not be in this and do Punk and Cena, and we just can't get that.
Yeah.
I miss
So
when the
unfortunately,
world
we're in a
title
rock
was-
and a hard place. To
And The
me,
Rock's
it
not
seems
here.
like, and there's no Rock, which is really strange.
He is the reason why this card is so ass so far. Not gonna lie. I'm not that intrigued about this.
This is going to be
WrestleMania
one of
card.
those. It's going to be good on night of, but it's going to
But
be
right
strange
now, it's
walking
weird.
in.
Yeah.
But that's all right. They have 10 weeks. Let them cook. I'm not nervous. I'm
That's
not
some
nervous.
interesting. That's an interesting thought process.
I'm not nervous for
letting them
WrestleMania.
Yeah, it's a very interesting process.
The only reason this doesn't apply in the first segment that we did for WWE is because there's not much left.
Because you don't want it. You don't want it.
No,
to.
there's not much left to cook.
We don't know that though.
Because we've already been here like 2 times already. Like that's my thing about that one.
Okay, that's fair.
We haven't been here yet. We have a lot of
Yeah.
options for Cody that hasn't really been touched. Punk has kind of been touched, but not really.
Oh,
Priest has barely been touched. Rollins has been done to death, but I'll take a 4th. Logan Paul is not going anywhere near the WWE title right now. And then there's Drew McIntyre, who is also going nowhere near that WWE
Drew
title.
and Cody would be intriguing to me.
However,
I'm not gonna lie.
intriguing, I don't really want it at Mania. Especially if that's
You know what
close in
you know what my
night 2. Not
you know what my match would have been if I had my way. At this point, knowing what we have here,
6-man Hell in the Cell.
no, knowing what we have,
Armageddon style.
low key, knowing what we have here,
No,
I would have been okay if they ran back Cody and Roman this time. Knowing knowing
Really?
this is where we're at right now.
Where's Roman?
Hurt. Double
Medical
stomp for
jargon.
Rollins.
No, we know.
Medical
we
jargon.
know, but
Yeah,
don't
medical
give me
jargon,
that
yeah.
one.
But that's
Where's
why.
Roman?
But that's why. He's waiting. It's gonna be Rollins and Roman at Mania, which makes sense as
Ugh.
well. No.
But like,
It's gonna be
can
good.
we not?
I just
We could not.
it's not. It's either Roman Rollins Punk or it's Roman Rollins. One-on-one.
And it's only I was gonna say it's only Roman's, Rollins, and Punk because they couldn't find Dean.
Honestly, I would have loved if they
Or because
had.
they're not an indie.
What if they did What if, bro? If I
That's
could
also
have,
the thing, I could-
if I could have booked Mania this year, low key, I would have been. I think it would have been sick to do a 4-way of the 4 guys in the tag match from night 1: Roman, Rock, Cody, and Seth.
pass. For
Nah,
what?
they teamed. Seth wants the title because he helped Cody get it, and he's like, if anything, I deserve a shot. I sacrificed everything for you to hold that title. Cody because he's the champ, Roman because he wants his title back, and Rock because he said he's going after Cody, and no one likes each other out of those 4. And then Punk's just, laughing
be
from
honest.
outside.
Dwayne has fucked this up almost 2 years in a row.
Yes, he has.
Yeah, thanks, Dwayne.
First time he was there and almost fucked it up. This time he's not there and fucked it up.
Yeah.
Like, what
Yeah.
the fuck? Why?
This
In
definitely
2024
feels
and
like-
25. Why are we so stuck on the Rock?
This is option C or D of like
This
what
is
this
option.
card
This
should
is
have been.
D. This is card number D. We lost A. We've been lost. B.
Card number.
I don't know
Number
where.
D.
I don't know where C went, and now we're here.
Yeah, man. I have no fucking clue what is happening, and I'm not sure I like any of it. Besides Gunther J. Gunther J is the only thing I like, and the only reason why I like it is because Jay's gonna win the title. And if they did, and they really shouldn't have done Saturday Night's main event.
Waste my goddamn time.
They really shouldn't have done Saturday Night's main event.
I might watch. I might watch Dynasty instead.
I would have wanted Gunther Cena, if anything. Looking at what we have now, wow.
This man said he'd rather watch a Dynasty.
From last year.
Yeah, exactly. Right.
Well, looking at the men's chamber and moving along here, we have the women's chamber match, also stacked in its own right. Liv Morgan,
This will be fun.
Alexa Bliss, Bianca Belair, Naomi, Bayley, and Roxanne Perez. Roxanne is a fire addition to this match. Sucks that she's probably going to be treated as an afterthought.
Nope, she's gonna be the last one left.
I hope so.
She's on a roll, and this is exactly all we need for her.
I wish she
Roxanne,
beat
think, is
Raquel
either gonna be
clean.
Last one. Oh yeah, true. Roxanne's either gonna be last one left or final 3. Probably.
I think we get a reveal at some point, either in this match or in the build to between Chamber and Mania, where Jade reveals that either Naomi attacked Jade straight up, or Bianca and Naomi schemed to take Jade out. We got a triple threat.
I feel like we could get that
Or
here.
something along lines.
For
Or
some
something
reason,
along those lines.
my brain is tingling to the idea of a Chamber 2009 moment, if you will.
The Taker Michaels moment?
No,
Or is
that's 2010.
Oh, okay.
2009 is when Edge shows up after losing the WWE title in the Chamber earlier that night.
Lol,
Comes
the
into the
Kofi
World
Kingston
Heavyweight
story.
Chamber, beats the shit out of Kofi Kingston, and takes his
Concertos
spot.
Kofi on the steps.
Like, I could see
And
that
then
happening,
that
or
was
a
the end of that.
2010 Taker Michaels spot, but instead it's Jade coming back and she's clearing both either
Coming
one
through the
of
ring?
Bianca or Naomi. Yep, I think
So,
Jade comes down.
I can't see
Like,
that
under the
happening
ring
unless
zone.
Jade wins. Does Jade win and then face Rhea?
Oh no! I don't think Jade will.
Oh, you just mean coming
injure
in and
herself
screwing
in the
them.
chamber.
Okay,
I
no,
think
okay.
Jade's coming in and screw him. Yeah.
she's winning the Queen of the Ring.
You think so? You think so?
I think so.
I'm down for
Absolutely.
it. I'm down
I think
for
she's
it.
ready. Yeah.
Queen of the Ring. She's gonna get that belt by SummerSlam.
You know,
That's
Well,
the
the
Or,
thing is,
or my
we need to
initial
have-
prediction too. My initial prediction was Jade comes in, and comes out and says, "Hey, fuck you, Naomi, you attacked me," and everyone's like, goes, and then she's like, "And you, Bianca, you were so quick to replace me as your partner. Why would you do that? I feel betrayed." And then boom, triple threat.
I kind of wish both of them attacked her.
I
I think that'd be
also
kind of
kinda
sick,
want
but I
to do
also
both
think
of them,
Bianca
so.
is too good as a face.
I think
Nah, I
it's
want
just
heel Bianca. I'm over face. I'm over face Bianca.
I actually think, weirdly enough, it was Bianca that attacked Jade and then made it look like, oh my god, what happened? Like, this is Bianca's scheme the whole time. It wasn't Naomi's scheme. It was just Bianca's whole thing.
me all along.
Yeah, she tears off a mask. It's
But
So
My prediction
LOL
for-
Liv wins.
Liv wins,
this up.
but there's a caveat. There's a
Yeah.
caveat. Liv wins next night on Raw. Liv attacks Rhea and Io during their title match. It all ends in no contest, fuck shit rule
and then
thing.
we get a triple threat.
And then we get triple threat at Mania. Liv,
And then
Rhea,
Io
and
wins at Mania.
Because
And
I
Io
don't
wins.
see the rest of these doing.
That's what matters is
women's
Io
title match at
wins.
Mania.
Yeah.
Roxanne's
nah.
definitely not. Bailey could.
Remember
but
there
not
was hope
going.
that Liv versus Bliss could be a thing?
I mean,
We're gonna get it. We'll see
we're
it
gonna
in the
get it
chamber
later.
They'll
Yeah.
do some spots, which
Yeah.
will be fun.
Yeah, they'll have some fun.
Alexa
There.
Bailey and
Bliss,
Roxanne are going to
well-
be feuding. Bianca and Naomi are probably going to be tied up with other people as well. Probably with Liv, and Raquel's probably
Yeah.
going to get involved somehow. Bliss is just going to...
walked for Liv.
Bliss is just
Yeah.
gonna be vibing.
Yep. Bliss is gonna be there vibing, and there may be some spooky shit.
Before we get to the
Maybe.
match that should be the main event, probably will be,
Ooh,
we have
I
a
hope
tag
not.
match. We have a tag match.
There's a tag match.
Tiffany Stratton and Trish Stratus teaming up, facing Nia Jax and Candice LeRae. They announced that on
yes.
SmackDown.
Yes. We're giving us the fan service that we need for this Candice LeRae eliminating Trish storyline.
Correct.
I thought that looked weird when I saw it in the Rumble. I was like, huh?
Yeah,
Mhm.
a little.
Yeah, and
I like
and
that.
Trish has been kind of going at it with Nia as well, so it makes sense to have the Candice thing.
When was this
and
announced?
Either
Friday.
this past Friday or the Friday before that.
Oh,
Trish was like, "Hey, I see you have problems with them. I have problems with them. Is the math mathin' for you?" So that's how kind of that works.
Why
Numbers
does she
don't
care
lie.
in 2025 that she got thrown out of the Royal Rumble?
Because she wants to be
That's
back in the ring. She wanted to be back. She said it.
She's retired
plus
four times.
It's in Toronto, so I mean, like,
Oh my god.
It's Triple H's WWE. All the legends want a piece, bruh.
no.
Ugh.
I'm
At
just
least she
saying.
can go.
But that'll be fun for the Toronto crowd. I think that'd be a good time.
I mean,
It'll be
I'm-
fun. I mean, like, I'm
Yeah.
all for my hometown hero from good old Richmond Hill, Ontario, Trish Stratus, to be back
Yep.
in the ring. So, no,
Thank you, Trish.
thank you,
Big top.
Trish.
And I'm surprised you don't think this should main event, Emil. We got an unsanctioned match: Kevin Owens versus Sami Zayn. I feel like this is
Oh.
fitting. I know it's not Quebec; it's still Canada, and it's
If it
unsanctioned.
was in
and
Montreal,
and I
this
like
would
how
main event
I will
easily.
say AEW does one thing right. They do a good job presenting unsanctioned matches because they end the show, they do the match, the main event, and then they have the announcer be like, "Just a reminder, this next match is completely unsanctioned. We have no part of this in AEW. They are on their own in terms of, injuries, getting hurt. We're not liable for any of that shit." Make it realistic. That is the way you make it realistic. And then they say,
don't know.
"We turn the lights off the moment they're back on. It's no longer our responsibility." I think that's great. I really like how they do
It's
that.
a little corny.
I don't think
a
it's
little,
corny.
but it at least
Little
adds
coin.
to it.
It makes
The
it
thing is-
feel
'cause
different
it
than a
makes it feel
sanctioned
different.
match.
Because
It's
an
just a no
unsanctioned
DQ
match. Yeah, it's a,
No, that's not. That's
right.
not what a no DQ. No, the point of unsanctioned is it's the company's not liable. They can do anything in this match. The company is not liable for anything that happens. They did not make this match happen. They're basically just saying, "Here, we provide the ring and the roof. That's it."
Here, the problem to the. To
I
argue
know
with
the air
Tim's
quotes.
point
That's
that
the.
it's
It's not the. That's the point.
No, but there's actually, ironically enough, there's a way you can argue that is it's not the same as a no DQ match because matches that were no DQ have ended in referee stoppage due to shenanigans. See the
Well, they weren't
Fiend
supposed to.
Seth Rollins Hell in a Cell match.
They weren't supposed to, and the crowd booed, rightfully so.
Yeah, so
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I could
But
see
that's-
this
that's
main
a- that's a-
eventing. I think
that's
it'd
a-
be fun, but
I think
That-
KO.
what's the Chris Jericho line? That was a bad decision by bad creative, and that no longer
creative.
happens.
I think KO wins that though.
I think he has to.
I think
Yeah,
KO
he
wins
kinda
it.
has to.
Maybe
He has
KO
to.
wins. Orton returns, and we get KO.
Stop doing this.
No,
Stop doing what?
Stop putting Orton in everything.
I'm not putting Orton in everything. I'm putting Orton with KO because that's happening.
not now.
Nah, we're still.
I think
wow.
KO versus Orton could
Wow.
happen at Mania, and I think that Sammy and Karrion Kross might happen at Mania at this point.
I think there's too much other stuff to go on. They may actually not make this card.
I for one.
No,
would
they're
love
making the
if-
card.
I for one would love if El Generico and Karrion Kross teamed up together.
Jesus.
No, fuck. Okay, fine.
But like, I don't know, man.
I don't see a Randy Orton pop up during this because, like, let KO and Sammy just do their thing, right? This is between them. Randy has nothing to do with this right now. Cody has nothing to do with this. It's just between the two of them. Let them settle it, and then maybe have Randy come back on SmackDown.
I actually truly don't really see a plan for Randy Orton anytime soon.
KO took him out of action.
I
KO,
think
but,
I
like,
think
that's
the
it.
next real plan for Randy Orton is Cody. I think that's the next plan. I think that was a way to get Randy off
KO.
TV. While I think they may tap it at some point, I don't think KO is anywhere in the Orton orbit.
Disagree. Hard disagree.
Randy's character has been nothing but I will hold a grudge on you for the rest of your life. And KO technically took Randy off TV, and so Randy's whole thing of being like, I will hold a grudge on you for the rest of your life and mine. So long
And they
as
were
I'm
best
alive.
friends.
Yeah. So he'll kill Kevin Owens.
TBH, Orton is no stranger to turning on tag team partners, so
Details.
I would rather him go with the route of I'm not
Details.
even surprised.
Orton can
mean,
turn on
either-
people, but people
get
can't
a
turn on Orton.
Yes.
People
Because-
did turn on Orton. It's called legacy.
No, people. I'm saying people can't in Orton because Orton goes for revenge on him.
But they,
People
Morally-
choose not to turn on
they just
Randy.
got their ass
Dog.
kicked.
Oh my lord, dog.
Legacy did turn on him. They just got their ass kicked.
Dog. I'm saying that
Yeah, I'm
Orton
sorry.
doesn't care about the moral
Ted DiBiase
justifications.
Jr. wasn't a threat.
Facts.
No.
And Cody Rhodes, future WWE champion. But
Yeah,
no,
but
he's a threat.
All right, but for real though, I don't see a scenario where, especially after being such close friends, and KO taking out Orton, that Orton does not get pissed off at KO and want revenge for it.
Didn't they threaten to kill each other 3 times during that run as best friends?
Yeah, and that's the
Yeah.
that's fine.
Okay, just making sure.
But now they really want to kill each other.
Didn't
We're
they have a whole
probably-
match against each other at WrestleMania?
I don't know. I just can't know. They
With
didn't.
Logan Paul. They did.
They had the
because you were
triple threat.
there.
They had the triple threat. That's not a one-on-one.
That
Details.
doesn't count, though.
But also, I don't think, especially after they're doing KO Sammy unsanctioned, that they're gonna want to run it back again at WrestleMania in a sanctioned contest.
They're not.
Okay,
That's why it's now.
So
I
it's
think
KO
I
Orton
don't even
and-
know.
so where do they
I
go?
think they might actually write Sammy off TV, and who knows what KO's doing? Nothing.
They should.
I don't know.
before
Maybe
that
he might
match-
disappear too.
they're doing too much with
Kevin-
Karrion, and KO is gonna beat Sammy, so he needs to come off with some kind of momentum, which has him go into the match with Orton, and then Orton wins, and then we set up Orton versus Cody through the spring. We get it at SummerSlam.
Karrion is cooking, by the way.
Karrion is absolutely cooking, one of the unsung
that
heroes of Monday Night Raw. He deserves a Mania
Randomly
match
shows up.
with Sammy.
Randomly shows up.
Yep.
I could pass. But again, I want to see what we're doing with all these other bigger stars that are going to lose this chamber.
Yeah.
All this kind of hinges on what we're doing with everybody else who loses this chamber.
Yeah.
That's
'Cause
my thing.
At the end
While
of the
there's
day,
2 nights, it'll probably be 6 or 7 matches each, and high key, not a lot of room.
Yeah. Because at the end of the day, you look at how the chamber is being set up this year, right? In other years, you kind of have an idea of who's going to win, and then everyone else you go, well, it's mainly mid-card guys or mid, maybe upper card, not bona fide main eventers that are involved in chamber, because it's normally the bona fide main eventer that ends up winning the chamber. This year, every single person in that match has been or is a main eventer. There's 5 former world champions on that match, and Logan Paul. They're gonna be needing to do something important come WrestleMania, because you just don't want guys that were literally carrying your company for the last few years on the undercard of a night one. A lot of decisions got to be made over the next couple months, and Chambers is going to be so interesting too, because again, whoever wins, you go, okay, cool. And I kind of do. You know what I miss? I miss when the titles were defended in the Chamber. I miss that. I miss when they defended the world title in the Chamber. It's been, I don't even know how long.
A little bit.
It's been a bit of time. I think it'd be fine.
They could have had one of the. They could have had the women's
That's
title.
Roman's fault.
Yeah, I think.
Actually, they have had the women's title. I'm pretty sure.
Well, I'm saying they could have this year.
They've had the
But,
women's
no,
tag.
but I'm saying like within like the last 5 years. I
Oh
think
yeah,
they have.
probably.
Yeah.
I think they had the world title in the chamber. I think Rhea probably
Yeah.
retained it in the chamber.
But like, I would have loved to see Gunther defend the world title in the chamber. You know, it's like, all right, bitches, you're stuck in here with me. Like, let's just go.
What if they did that and had Gunther lose? Then what for Jay? That's fun. If we're gonna bullshit because The Rock's not here, we might as well bullshit.
Well, that's what also added the uncertainty, right? Was a world champion goes into the chamber defending their title. What happens if they lose? Because, you know, there have been years past where the winner of the Rumble will choose their opponent before the chamber happens. And then you go, oh, we could have, instead of this person, it could be this person and this person. Like, you know, oh, when was that before, though? What was that year Sheamus won the Rumble? And he was like, I want the world title.
Wasn't
And
that
then
20?
they decided
2012.
2012.
He was winning that face Bryan.
Yeah, 2012. Yeah. And
16 seconds was it?
yes,
18.
18.
18.
But, do you remember who were the final two in that chamber that year?
No.
It was Daniel Bryan and
No way.
Santino. Marella.
And Santino.
And there was a moment where they had Santino hit Bryan with a Cobra, and for all of 2 seconds, everyone went, are they about to do this?
I
the
mean,
answer was
this is
no,
this-
obviously. But
this-
it's fun. It makes it a little more fun.
Santino was also the last one to get eliminated before Alberto Del Rio took him out in the Rumble of 2011,
Imagine
which
a world
also
where we
got a
had,
massive pop, I might add.
imagine we had a world where Santino won a Rumble.
Good for Santino, man. One of the
Anyway.
best mid-carders ever.
Truly. And now he's chilling on TNA.
Showed up in NXT.
Showed up in NXT.
he's-
With his daughter,
the-
the liaison.
Yes.
Is that what he calls himself?
What? No.
He's
He
the
calls himself
director
the
of
director.
authority.
He's the director of authority at TNA, but his daughter Ariana Grace
What
is
does that mean?
he's a GM.
It's
basically.
basically a GM role.
But he
So, yes.
his daughter is Ariana
same
Grace in NXT, his real life daughter, and she is the NXT-TNA liaison. So she's the one that she's been going back and forth between NXT and TNA, in kayfabe, like bringing talents over and bringing talents back to NXT, basically. Speaking of NXT, NXT's wilding out right now, gentlemen.
I was going to ask one last thing before we get to NXT.
Fuck. Okay.
There's 4 matches on the card right now. Do you think we get a 5th before?
No.
Triple H likes his 5s.
No, these chambers are going
Okay.
to take 45 minutes each.
Yeah.
Agreed. And the entrances alone, especially in the men's match.
Oh, God. At least
Also-
Roman's
oh,
not.
it's
At least
also a
Roman's not there.
It's
And it's a
also
stadium.
it's also a
It's also a
stadium, so it's
stadium.
extra long ramp,
Yeah.
Long ramps.
as Roman likes to say, extra big. That was so
At least
funny.
Roman's not there.
My biceps are
And
extra
I'm actually kind of glad Roman's not doing it because his entrance would take at least 30 minutes.
7 minutes.
Goddamn.
Yeah.
Anyway, as I
NXT's doing
attempted,
great.
as I
Cody's
attempted,
not far behind.
facts.
No.
As I attempted to so beautifully segue, NXT's wilding out. NXT's going crazy.
now.
First off, we had Vengeance Day. First off, we had NXT. We had NXT last Tuesday. First off, where rumors were swirling, reports were swirling that 3 top AEW talent, three big AEW talents, were all released from their contracts. One of them being Malachi Black, and this was just before the Rumble as well. One of them being Miro. Malachi being known as Aleister Black in WWE, Miro known as Rusev, Happy Rusev Day, and a third person that WWE has kind of had on their radar for a little while, I think, because of Cody Rhodes and because, they have a good relationship, Cody and this individual. Ricky Starks, absolute Ricky Starks, finally getting released from his contract. And at that point, speculation was wild that, like, is he going to show up are they going to show up at Rumble? Are they going to do this? Are they going to do that? Before that, but their contracts were not actually, they weren't released at that time. They were eventually officially released this past week, and 24 hours after the reports came out that they were released, we are on NXT, and they're showing hyping up a match between Trick and Eddie Thorpe, and all of a sudden you hear, oh wow, oh whatever, someone's talking, whatever, and they cut to the crowd, and Ricky Starks is in the NXT zone, in the crowd. He's officially signed with NXT, or not really, but he arrived to NXT, and they hyped up a contract signing for this week's NXT. They spent the whole week saying a new challenger, a new competitor arrives, Smash Brothers style, where he comes in without a name, and they're like a new competitor emerges, and what's it like? No one knows his name. They're playing coy with what his name is. He signs a contract this week. Camera pans to it, and it says Ricky Saints. Ricky Saints is now a part of WWE, NXT. Weird name, but it's not terribly far off from Starks. I don't know why they had to change his name. I wonder if it's a contract issue or a copyright issue. Thank you. Yeah, probably a copyright issue, which really sucks, but it's fine. Ricky Saints, close enough.
Own your name. Mm-hmm. Own your name.
But yeah, to jump back to Vengeance Day, that show fucking cooked. The women carried that show on their back. The women absolutely killed that show.
They've been carrying for 8 months.
New NXT Women's North American Champion in Stephanie Vaquer. Julia retains her championship in a triple threat in the main event against Bayley and Roxanne Perez. And the show is about to end with the two of them holding their belts up and celebrating this new era of NXT women's wrestling, when all of a sudden Jordynne Grace's music hits and Jordan comes out. And the show ends with the three of them in the ring. Wild visual in 2025. You have...
Is that? I think that's exactly what we've all kind of been waiting for for the last year.
Yes, it's still wild.
That's not wild. That's
it's wild.
Exactly what we've been asking for.
Well, Jordan wasn't in WWE yet. She wasn't signed.
Yeah, but we all knew that we wanted Jordan anyway. It is wild.
No, my lord. Can y'all just agree that it's wild? Come on.
It is.
It's a big. It's
no,
big.
to me it's regular because that's what they've been telling me is regular.
Well, you're
for
fucking
the last
spoiled.
8 months.
Well, you're spoiled. That's why.
Okay, so stop spoiling me then.
NXT.
You're giving me fire,
the point
and
is,
I'm not mad at it. I'm happy with it, and yes, it is fire. Absolutely, you're 100% right. Is it wild? No.
Yes.
It's exactly what they've been.
Jordan was not even signed to the company
They have been booking to this since
dude.
Rumble
Why?
of 24. We've been booking to this for a year.
We know.
It is,
but it's now happening.
In the sense that you look at who's.
I don't like obvious things being called wild.
Well, I mean, you got to think about it like this, though. Yeah, you look at what was running NXT last year. Roxanne doing great, NXT homegrown talent, if you will. And you see now that your top women's champ is one of the best women's wrestlers to have come from Japan in the last 5 years. And your mid-card women's champ is one of your best international women signings in the last who knows how long. Someone who since Asuka. Someone who literally, Stephanie Vaquer, this time last year, was still working for CMLL, or for AAA rather, and, no, wasn't the two. Anyway, whichever one it was. And had a title match with Mercedes Moné at the biggest collaborative wrestling show on North American soil, and then immediately got picked up by WWE. That's what's running that's what's running your women's division right now, and it is wild. It's surreal to think about that NXT is back to, it feels like it's back to what it was in the black and gold days, right? We're back to not just homegrown. We've had our era of homegrown talent running the show. And we had Trick. We have, everything going on with like Roxanne and all this, right? Great. We've had all that now. We have Oba as NXT champion now, homegrown talent, right? Things like that. For the women's side, we're back to, the indies are running things again. And it feels wild because it's been so long since we've had this. It's only been like 5 years, but like it feels like it's been forever. It feels like it's been, a slog, but here we are.
I mean, to me, it's like WWE's been spoiling me, right? Like, okay, fine, I'll take that. I'll accept that. I'm spoiled. I'm now entitled as a wrestling fan. But this is exactly what we've like been kind of looking for, like, right? And especially there is also some kind of interesting probably moves about these ideas is that WWID is becoming super huge and a super is becoming a super official, right? Like it's not just like this little thing that they're doing anymore, like on the side that we kind of hear about. It's like it's becoming this full blown thing. They're getting belts. They're getting like shows, Evolve.
They're getting like ID prospect showcase matches.
We're clearly making the pipeline bigger, which makes NXT bigger, which makes NXT less developmental, which is fine, totally okay, right? I see what we're doing here, right? The real thing about this is all this is kind of changing up how we're supposed to view NXT. We're once again supposed to view NXT as this third brand, right? That's what we're doing. We got SmackDown and Raw. We have like now this. I would argue that they're the C show, right? We have the A, we have the B, and now we have a C show again, right? Which is the first time we've had a real C show since probably 2008. That matters, right? I would argue 2008 ECW kind of matters. It doesn't, but it does, right? There was some things that happened, right? And which would then push them to SmackDown or to Raw, and you would already see that, hey, they've kind of grown on ECW. Now it's NXT, which means we have to have a new farm system. They're kind of revamping their farm system. WWID into Evolve, into NXT, into Raw or SmackDown to WrestleMania. That's the move. So to me, doing this is the statement that we're once again making NXT the third brand. NXT is letter C, not number. I got it right this time. And that we're putting a lot more. Some of these people who we would call homegrown NXT talents are going to go to Evolve. People who can't and the people who are not quite ready for Evolve yet are on WWE ID. And that's not even including LFG, which we don't really know where that falls in those lines. Are they getting a WWE ID contract to then go through ID to Evolve to it? You get the point, right? Like that's what it is. So either I'm spoiled and I'll take that, or like, but to me, this isn't wild. This is a statement.
Anyway, NXT has the best women's division in the world.
Yeah,
That's fine.
I agree with that too. Right? Like, that is the T. It is. It's just. I would say it's wild because it's that stacked that those three women are at the top. That's what's wild.
I guess I just don't like playing in hyperbole because I know exactly what this is to me.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean,
that's boring. You should be more fun.
Oh, I actually think the concept of NXT being the third brand again is much more fun, and I think.
Oh, it is.
Thinking of the pipeline and where people come in, where the football players
on
go
top
in
of
on top of
LFG, on top of the what's the other program that they had with the there's LFG, but then there's the one where they go into like the colleges and they recruit college athletes.
The
NIL
stuff. Program.
What was that one?
They
called?
did one season of that. NIL. I don't know if that was real.
Next in line. Yeah, NIL.
Yeah,
that's another one. They have like all these different ways that it all kind of. There's like 5 different channels, right? There's like the ID, the NIL, the LFG, the Evolve, and it all feeds in like a funnel to NXT and then up the card.
And
I would say,
the way,
which is great, which is really cool.
Is awesome. Yeah,
it's really cool.
They're expanding the developmental,
and they're also able to take in people at different skill levels going into it. So
exactly,
they can have people skip just to Evolve or just to NXT or go straight to main roster like Penta. It's crazy. It's really cool.
Because putting Penta on NXT is weird. I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't call it a waste. I bet you like that there would be some good NXT TV out of it. I bet
for sure.
I think like for somebody like Trick, that could be like something that could work and gives Trick more of an edge for whatever reason, right? But obviously putting somebody like Penta on like Evolve is not the move, right? Or putting somebody like Ricky Starks, whatever his name is,
Saints.
Putting him on something like Evolve is not the move. Something that's called developmental. Like the clear thing to me is that they don't want to call NXT developmental.
Agreed.
Right? So there are people who are lower on the NXT card who are probably going to be the higher up on the Evolve card.
Yep. Yeah, definitely.
Everything's just going to kind of get shifted. Cool. And because they're all kind of getting on TV anyway, or some kind of Netflix series or whatever the fuck they're doing with it, and plus we need to fill out.
Actually, Evolve is going to be on Tubi, which is the free streaming service, free TV streaming service.
Fair enough. I'm not watching that shit, but fair enough.
I may tune in every now and then.
I'll watch when they make it to NXT.
I could be remiss.
It's new Level Up too because they canceled Level Up.
Speaking of Level Up, we have 4 Level Up veterans debuting at Vengeance Day in the Shield 2.0 or the Retribution 2.0, however you want to call it. Get a load of these names. Hang on one sec. I got to look it up. First of all, Dion Lennox. Anyone know Dion Lennox? Guy with the eyeglasses?
Who?
He reads books.
Who?
Anyway, Saquon Sugars.
Saquon Barkley?
Oh, the rest of these are who? The rest of these are big who's. Cutler James and Osiris Griffin, I believe.
It is a who's who.
Oh no, not Osiris Griffin.
Which is actually okay, right?
Which is hilarious because people were laughing about because WWE had a list of names they copyrighted, and Saquon, Cutler James, and Osiris Griffin were all names that they had copyrighted. And this was the same week that Ricky Saints came in, and they were like trying to figure. They were like, because it
What's
happened
the
as
name?
such a
Ricky.
no. Yeah, they were like, which one of these names is
Oh,
Ricky?
I
And they were
know
like,
it's
my
Ricky.
fucking god, if they call this man Osiris Griffin, I swear to God. And the IWC was jokingly calling him and Ricky Starks Osiris Griffin, which is fucking hilarious.
Well,
But yeah,
at
they
least we
came out and
avoided that.
attacked. They came out and attacked Fraxium and Josh Briggs and Yoshiki Inamura.
Whoever that third guy is in that little video, he's getting cut by like week 10
Yeah.
because he fucked up a mask pull up. How do you? Fuck that
Yeah,
up,
how do
bro?
you fuck up a mask pull?
Nah, Tongaloa's still there. That guy could
Send
be
him-
there if Tongaloa's
Send
still
him back to
employed.
ID, bro. He's
Okay,
not ready
okay,
for
okay,
a
but
ball.
I'm
Send him
fairly
back.
certain they hired Tongaloa to botch.
Yeah, and the same
Okay.
thing is going to be him.
I just think
Which one is
Tongaloa
that?
walks.
That's
Tongaloa. Wait, Tongaloa walks, so I believe Cutler James can run. I don't know.
Like
I don't know
Cutler
who it is.
James,
Is that who
the-
fucked
I don't
up?
know.
I don't know who fucked
I-
it up. To be honest, I
they
didn't
look-
catch that.
The presentation looks fine. It's not. They're not trying to go too hard on it like Retribution, and that was a miserable failure, as we all remember. But
Appreciate it that they
we gotta let this breathe. It'll be fun in NXT because everybody's a threat in NXT. Like going after Fraxium, cool, and there's 4 of them. So you have 2 of them go for Fraxium, you have 1 of them go for Opa, and you have, if assuming mask pull fuck up guy is still with the company,
Just have one of
him
them go
go
for the
after-
as long as
Heritage
he keeps
Cup.
the job.
the Heritage Cup or something.
Go to the
Yeah.
Heritage. Yeah, the cup.
Yeah,
Don't give him the cup.
I don't know. They look cool. I like the whole. They're doing the old shield mask thing. I think it's kind of funny, but hopefully they don't show up wearing Kevlar vests. Then we're
It's
gonna
a
have a
little
problem.
pointed.
It's a little.
They have
pointed.
the
Just a
they have
little
the Hounds of
bit.
Justice.
It's very clearly.
Yeah, they have the.
They
Hounds,
have the
they
Hounds of
the
Justice
skull
mask.
masks. They have the skull
Yeah.
masks. Yeah, like that's typical
Oh,
military shit.
also,
But, like,
shout out
I
to
don't need
Yoshiki
them showing
Inamura.
up in-
Shout out to Yoshiki Inamura. Fucking Pro Wrestling Noah dude just showing up at this NXT pay-per-view like casually.
I was about to say, like, that's a Noah. What the fuck is he doing on NXT? Okay.
He's been teaming
Yeah.
with Josh Briggs, I guess, in Noah, and so the 2 of them challenged Fraxium for the titles. By the way, I love Fraxium now. I used to root for their downfall. I low-key still kind of do, but they're also fucking amazing wrestlers. The best tag team in NXT history. Better than
I've been
DIY,
liking that.
better than Revival. They are the best tag team in NXT history.
I think they're the best tag team in WWE right now. Period.
Oh, absolutely. At least they're a
I
tag
love-
team, you know what I mean?
I love that they keep acknowledging the way they keep doing singles matches and like other singles shit while they're still definitely
Yeah,
doing
while
these
they're
belts.
still-
I like that.
Yeah,
tag champs
I like
and- yeah.
I like that their gimmick is that they don't get along. Like usually the don't get along thing is like the trope of they're gonna break up, but that's just
yeah,
their
but
gimmick.
this has been
Like,
yeah,
they
it's
have
their
good
gimmick.
weeks
It's
and
just we
bad
don't get
week-
along,
and
but
bad
it's okay.
weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like when they were pushing the whole like 1 week, oh, Axiom's running late to this to the arena. What happened? Oh no, where's Nathan Fraser? What's going on? And I'm like, are they going to break them up
Yep.
at some point? No, because they've made it work. They've pulled off banger matches. They're great defending the titles. Like I kind of want them to hold it till about Stand and Deliver.
Yeah.
Yeah, it just Fraxium's fun. I do think they're maybe one of the best tag teams. No, they're the best tag team in WWE right now, probably in all of wrestling.
There's no
hard to
tag
say,
team in
but-
sight for me to take the titles from Fraxium. No, none in sight. Not one. Couldn't
Last
tell
I
you.
checked, the NXT
I
tag
don't know who you-
team division was kind of ass.
Oh, it's ass.
It's bad.
It's
ass.
ass.
It's big ass.
Let me tell
It's
you,
like
it's
Rikishi-
ass.
It's a little rough.
it's like Rikishi levels of ass.
Let me tell you
Um,
something, brother.
It's like
Yeah.
OTM. It's
Ooh.
the problem is they have all these teams out the mud. Jada Parker's guys, Bronco
Oh,
Nemo,
that-
Lucy
Oh,
Price.
Yes.
the guy, yeah. I think
Yeah,
I
the
know
guy
who
with the
it is.
guy in the thing. Yeah, him.
I
San Andreas guys. The
Yes.
Oak Street
yeah,
guys.
yeah.
The Oak
The
Street.
Oak Street guys. But yeah, our Grove Street. Why did I say Oak Street? I was thinking Oak Grove, Boston. Grove Street boys. But yeah, what else we got? We got Hank and Tank. Oh boy. We got Hank and Tank. Hank Walker, Tank Ledger. You don't know Hank and
This
Tank? They're the
feels like
comedy guys.
Is that just heavy machinery?
I like
2.0?
comedy acts.
Kinda. Their gimmick is honk honk. I don't know why, but it is.
Oh, those guys.
Yeah, those dudes. We got No Quarter Catch Crew, who, by the way,
We do know those.
do we know
We
who
know
they're
those.
facing next week on NXT?
I do.
They're facing the fucking
Hardys?
Hardys, the TNA Tag Champions, the Hardys.
I guessed
Yeah.
that. I wasn't even being serious.
That's wild,
I was
dude.
just saying
That's
right
great.
now,
Matt
you
and
didn't-
Jeff will be returning.
Yeah.
That's gonna be cool.
Oh, just speaking also of
for
other
Jeff.
stuff going on at Vengeance Day, because fuck it, we have some extra time. We talked about Vaquera beating Fallon for the title. Eddie Thorpe got a clean pin on Trick Williams.
That's
Clean
big.
pin. Clean
That's
pin.
big.
Also, good for Eddie Thorpe. I actually
Yeah.
very much enjoy Eddie
I
Thorpe's
really
work.
like Eddie Thorpe.
Ethan Page beat Javon Evans. Great.
Cool.
Obafemi retained the NXT title against Austin Theory and Grayson Waller in a triple threat.
That was a fun match.
That story.
That was actually a really fun match.
They used the never-ending will they won't they story to drive the narrative that Oba could win, basically playing off of the two of them hating each other or building.
I did like
tension.
it though. I did really like the finish of that.
And then Julia wins and retains her title.
Yeah,
but
that's fine. I'm okay with that.
What happened on this week's NXT?
May I talk about this?
Yes.
Because are we talking about the opening of NXT?
Yes,
Great.
we are.
So Tyler, if you're watching the podcast and you're not listening to it on Spotify or whatever it may be, Tyler, when he was talking about Hank and whoever the fuck he was talking about, honk. Now that good old truck motion is done by another certain superstar, a big guy, if you will, named what's his name? Goose? Loose? No, Moose, bitches. And Obafemi kicks off NXT talking about beating Waller in Theory, how he's, still the inevitable, he's the ruler of NXT. And he's like, anyone that is back there that wants to fucking try and stop me, come out. He's like, I'll wait, get out here. The lights go out, the lights just hit on the stage, and Moose is just standing there, X Division title in hand, menacingly, and it takes people a second. It takes people a minute to, recognize, who the fuck is that? Because the Tron's not up yet, nothing, right?
Because they have a Def Rebel problem.
They do have a Def Rebel problem. The Tron hits.
Even in TNA, they are not safe from being Def Rebel.
No. Moose is making his way down, and I would like to quickly acknowledge Booker T and his very questionable commentary during this moment, where he goes, "Is it him? Do you know who that is? It's him!" And I'm like, Booker, say his fucking name already. Come on, we know it's Moose. Just get to the point. Anyway, Moose shows up, looking fly as all hell. X Division title in hand, goes face to face with Oba, and just says, "Hey Oba, I'm here to burst your bubble. You and me, NXT title. Let's do it."
Wait,
Moose is here, baby.
I had to step away for a second. Moose
is here, baby.
Moose.
I'm popping. I'm watching.
Also,
I'm
meanwhile, Moose is the TNA X Division champion.
Yep.
Big fan.
Yep.
Also, low-key, wish he was the world champion just for this
Some
feud,
people
but it's okay.
are saying, and I have never. This is going to when this eventually happens because. Right. So Moose is going to be defending the X Division title against Lexus King next week on NXT. That's been announced. But they're eventually going to lead. I know, right? Weird. But okay, the X Division title is getting defended on
because Lexus was like all these TNA guys coming in.
He couldn't go there and do that.
Well, because Lexus was like all these TNA guys coming in challenging for our titles. When are they going to put their titles up? And Moose came up and was like,
Moose is like, all right, let's go.
I got
Wouldn't
you.
that have worked better on TNA TV?
Yeah, but
they
who cares?
the
We're
NXT
selfish
tag
here.
titles on NXT.
Oh, my bad.
We're selfish here.
We're
But
spoiled.
the idea of
It's a
Moose
one-way
and
deal.
Oba is so intriguing in that it's going to be the biggest meat-slapping meat match they've had since Dijak and Keith Lee at NXT TakeOver Portland all those years ago, and I'm ready for it. I'm ready.
So
Moose isn't winning, but I'm ready.
I'm not one for sacrificing Oba, but in this case we could sacrifice Oba.
Nah.
We could.
Nah.
I'd sacrifice Oba.
I kind of.
I
would
would
want to, but no.
I'm not gonna lie to you.
I would, but we won't.
I know we won't.
I'm not gonna lie to you. Moose has aura,
I would.
but I don't know if Moose is worth it. I don't know.
Absolutely not.
No.
Absolutely
No,
not.
exactly.
But I'll still sell for Moose.
And as
You know what
Booker
I
T,
kinda want?
as Booker T would say, "No bread, no water, just me." Thank you very much.
Someone brought up the idea after everything happened, and I'm sticking to it. I kind of want this to happen. Is Moose is constantly going to be Oba, come on, you and me, we got to do it. And Oba's like, no, I don't want to fucking wrestle you for my NXT title. You're not worth my time. So Moose just goes, okay, better idea. Option C.
Can you option C for that?
Maybe.
I don't think
Maybe.
that's how that works.
Why not? Just fuck around
I think
with
we
the
need
lore.
to. I think we do need to maybe check the rule book for that one. I'm not against
have to
it,
refer to
but I think we
Hogan
have to
for that
refer.
one.
I think we have to refer to some
Well,
things.
the rule book
that
of
one makes
option
sense.
C is that it can only be done before Destination X or Bound for Glory. Is one of the two. So that's not
Are
coming
either
up
of those
anytime soon.
around the corner.
I don't think so.
Oh, wow,
So
okay.
it's going to be Moose versus Oba. It's going to be fun because we'll see the TNA X Division title more often. And just the idea of Moose and Oba is cool. Why the fuck not? Just two big
Dan
hulking
Oba
dudes.
is gonna whoop ass.
Yeah. Oba's
Dan
gonna
Oba
kill him,
will snap him out of existence.
but at least it'll be
So
fun.
the option C, canonically, option C was done at Destination X in 2012, 13, 14, and
Yeah.
15. Then it
That's
went
a
away
lot.
for 4 years. Well, yeah. Then it went away for 4 years.
It was gone for a while. Yeah.
20, and they don't do Destination X as a show anymore. So I think
Oh,
it's
they
just
don't. So
whenever the story
bound-
calls for it,
Okay.
because Brian Cage did it in 2019 unsuccessfully at TNA Homecoming,
Oof.
Impact Homecoming. 2021, Josh Alexander did it successfully at Bound for Glory.
Big pop.
right.
2022, Frankie Kazarian did it unsuccessfully at Overdrive.
Oof.
Okay.
Over
So
the
the
limit?
inconsistency of shows over the limit.
It usually happens in the fall or winter, it looks like, because it says, like,
Okay.
recently, since they brought it back in 2019, they did it January, October, and November.
Okay.
But they
so
haven't done it in 3
situation-
years.
It's situational. But you know what? Hey, fuck it. Why not? Moose could just be like,
Yeah,
you go to
there's no
Santino
pattern
and
of
be like,
consistency
Santino,
there.
look. Yeah, fuck it. Why not? Moose could go to Santino and just hand him the X Division title. Be like, I want my title match against Oba. And Santino's like, okay, sure.
Also, Meat Planet Moose as the X Division champion is fucking hilarious.
Dude, the amount of meat
Meat.
that has been X Division champion is insane. But people forget, right? While people are like, oh,
I
the
thought
heavy
there was
guys
a weight
shouldn't be.
limit.
Well, Samoa Joe's been X Division champ before, so no.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and that was like the early days of TNA, so no. They always claimed there was a weight limit.
It's
But-
so strange. They're like this high flying title with everybody. I mean, like Samoa Joe's hitting a moonsault off fucking tightropes.
Yeah.
Like that's normal for him. But like still.
Speaking of, you're telling me Chris Sabin has 10 reigns with the X Division title?
Yes, he does. He
Oh,
is
yeah.
the most held for the X Division championship.
And
I
the
was gonna
most
say, I
combined
think I even
days.
knew that.
That's
Yep.
crazy. That's a random ass
Yep.
stat. I was
Yeah.
fully expecting someone like Joe or Styles or someone like
No,
that.
it's
Too
Chris
bad
Sabin.
he's ass.
Yeah.
Now he's ass. No, he's not ass. He's one of
I
the best
love
tag team
Chris
guys
Sabin.
everybody has
He's
right now.
He's one of the best tag team
He's
guys in
me.
the world still. He just can't
Facts.
cut a promo to save his life.
Yeah,
Neither can the other one.
I'm dead.
Remember, kids,
Um,
Chris Sabin was also TNA World Heavyweight Champion at some point.
True.
Ooh.
True.
Ugh.
So that's where we're at in NXT. The
That
biggest
was
story
bad.
right now coming out of NXT looks like a tag team match for next week. Ricky Saints, LOL, and Javon Evans against Ethan Page and
That boy bouncy.
fuck. What's the other one? Who's the other one? Fuck. Do I have to look it up?
Tyler
I can't
will
remember.
Eventually.
Oh man, this is
I like
really,
Javon.
like-
That's a good rub for him.
Um,
Couldn't have
oh
been that.
man, why don't I know it? I'm so pissed at myself for this. Oh, Wes
he
Lee.
been a-
That's why I don't remember it because he's mid as
Oh.
hell. Because he sucks.
Yeah.
Has Javon been anywhere near a mid card title yet?
No,
No.
Can we start? We should start moving.
We
it
should
out.
start
he's.
that soon.
They're gonna build him to take it off of Oba. I think.
I'm sorry. Who?
Whoa.
They're
Who's
gonna-
taking what off of Oba?
Javon.
No.
Javon's taking the title off of Oba.
The
no, no,
NXT.
no.
Not
title.
anytime.
They're
Not
gonna-
anytime soon. But it's
Okay,
happening.
okay.
Relax.
I was
Relax.
like,
Can we put that? Can we put that North American strap on him first?
Yeah.
I don't. We can't.
So
Yeah,
Oba's
I-
holding this bitch. So Oba's holding this bitch up for 2 years?
What else the fuck is he
Yeah,
gonna
probably.
do? What
Yeah,
else
probably,
is he gonna
yeah.
do?
It's fucking Oba. Yeah.
Facts. This
Well,
has been the
we're-
mission.
He walked out to a Thanos quote. So like, what else are we?
Yeah,
doing?
I'm
exactly,
saying,
like-
dude. I'm
Dread
saying.
it.
Oba is
Run
inevitable.
from it. I
Like,
never
Oba-
thought I could do it.
Oba is
The range.
everything that like Oba now is reminding me of Roman early. Not the same kind of star power,
Absolutely.
obviously, but like they're really giving Oba.
I don't
the
know, man.
Roman
He's getting the
Reigns
aura. He's getting aura.
He's-
No,
he has
but he's
all the aura
getting
for
it.
me.
He has all the aura in the world, but like he's really starting to feel like a Roman now. You know,
How old
like
is
just
he?
this unkillable. Like,
Not
he's
that
like-
age.
Younger
matters
than
as
all of
much in
us.
Pro wrestling. He's younger than us.
He's younger than
He
us.
is. He is.
Fantastic.
He's like early
Make him break.
20s.
Make him break all the records.
He's-
so
Yeah.
what's the
Oh.
longest NXT rank?
Wait. Oh no, he's our he's my age at least.
28, 27.
26.
27.
Okay.
Oh
He's
wow.
He's 26.
So what's the longest NXT title reign right now? Let's do some math while we're here.
I've-
We're trying to do some math for the
Is it
Oba
like
career.
400
This
days.
is- I need multiple things.
Hold up. Adam Cole, 396 days. It's only a year.
All right, cool. He's getting about 500. Cool.
Yeah.
He'll go to the main roster.
Yeah.
He'll win the IC title belt. What's Gunther's reign? 666. He's getting 700.
613.
I'm rolling. And then what's Roman's reign?
13,
16?
He's definitely getting 1,500.
I think
Yeah.
he's no, he's not.
And that is a career right there. That is a career right there. I'm dick riding all the way. I'm here. We're here.
He's becoming the longest reigning NXT champion in history.
He's becoming all of the longest titles ever.
Is he the longest reigning North American champ?
Yes, he is.
Currently, yes.
Also,
So yeah, he's just breaking all the
Also,
records.
we have after Moose, we have one more match that could be run for a Meat Planet versus Meat Planet match. Can any of you guess it?
Is it involving a TNA talent?
Nope.
No. Oba and
There's-
who? I'm trying to think.
all the meat is left in all the meat left NXT. They went to the main roster.
No. The Meat went to
Or the
Japan
A
and came
East
back.
came out.
Oh,
Who
Omos.
went to Japan?
Omos.
Oh,
Omos. He went to Noah. Yeah.
Fuck it.
that's
Give
right.
me Oba and Omos.
Omos. I'm in. I'm in.
in.
Give it
I
to
don't-
me,
Again, would sell Oba for
Yeah.
Omos.
bruh.
Again.
what is wrong with you?
Stop giving me people that I could sell Oba
This man is going
What
to
do you
get
mean
so
it's
much
over
hate for this.
Omos?
for. Would
Omos
absolutely,
NXT champ.
Would absolutely.
You know,
would-
they
would-
do that every
would-
once in a while where they have a big face champion, they lose the title unexpectedly shorter than they expected them to, and then have a climb back to it. So hey, fuck it. Could do it with
You
Oba.
mean when Braun Breaker lost
He's
the
a
NXT
face?
title to Dolph Ziggler?
Oba is whatever the fuck they want him to be.
Oba's
Oba
not
can be
face.
whatever the hell he wants.
He's just Oba.
Oba faced
He
two
really
heels in a
just
triple
is
threat.
Oba.
Oba faced two
He's
heels
the
in a
heel
triple
when
threat.
you need. He's
That's
the
what I
heel
mean.
in the triple
They're
threat.
whatever they want him
Yeah,
to be,
you're
is
right.
what I'm saying.
You're
Yeah.
right. But
My
We're
favorite
gonna
thing
cheer
in the
for
world
him.
was my sister
gonna
and I were
grunt for him,
watching.
actually.
Yeah, my sister and I were watching Vengeance Day, and she sees Oba walk out, and her immediate question was, "What is that?" And I'm like, "Oh, it's Oba." She goes, "No, I don't care. What is that?" I'm like, "Why? What do you mean what?" She goes, "Is he a heel champ? Is he a face champ?" And I'm like, "He's whatever the fuck he wants.
He's
She's
Oba
like, "Okay."
fucking Femi.
He's Oba Femi, baby.
if
He's whatever he wants."
if you're not rocking with M'Baku, then
Yeah, exactly.
boo him. If
Then
you're very much rocking with M'Baku, like the rest of us are, we're
M'Baku.
cheering.
I'm
Yeah,
fucking
he
dead.
is
cheering.
M'Baku.
That's absolutely what he
He's
is.
M'Baku if he had the
100,000%.
Infinity Stones.
That is.
I also
that is
find him
Black
hilarious.
Panther.
I also
love
find it so funny because I feel like he enters so unserious. The way he struts, he's like,
He
boom,
does.
I love his
Just-
threat.
boom,
Right?
boom, boom. He's just fucking vibing with his own music. I love it.
I
love it.
vibe
Can
with
we
his
also-
music.
can
We all
also
do.
talk- I can't remember. Was this like 2 weeks ago in NXT? He was cutting a promo and he just cuts to like his American voice, and you're like, "What the fuck? Like, what's your real
That's
voice?"
what I just quoted earlier.
Yeah.
That's what I
Yeah.
quoted earlier, where he's like, "I can't believe I could do it."
I can do it. and
Oh,
you're
that's
like-
what you did. Oh,
Yeah, that was.
That's what he
yeah.
said.
That's what he said.
Yeah.
but then
you're right.
The Thanos quote, and then immediately followed with an accent switch.
I didn't
and
Yeah.
think I
it
could
might,
do
he
it
it.
might
code
be the
switches
best
like
NXT
that, and you're
promo I've
like,
ever seen.
Wow,
Damn,
that's
boy.
big.
That might be my
Fucking
favorite NXT
Oba.
moment since like the Finn and Shinsuke promo.
Wow.
Like it's like
That's-
that for me. Like that was like
Yeah.
that's wrestling. I was
Oba-
so into it.
Yeah, they're gonna have Oba hold that thing for a while because he's at not
And
even.
I love Tony D as
month?
well. So
Yeah, he's at like what, a little more than a month now, holding the title, right?
something like that.
Hasn't been that long.
Where's
But-
Tony D right now?
I don't know how long he's been. Who
He got
knows?
the shit kicked out of him.
This dude is wasting the North American title after what Oba did for
Yeah.
that belt. Also,
Yeah.
Loki should have dropped it to Ridge. I'm just saying. I don't really care for Tony D'Angelo. I try to like him. He's very
I never
likable.
care for Tony
He's
D'Angelo.
very
Love
likable.
the gimmick. Love it.
What?
I love that gimmick. Big fan.
It's dead in the water.
It's gimmicky.
It's dead in the water.
Definitely gimmicky, and it's also dead in the water. Also, they killed the family.
Did they kill the family?
Yeah,
Oh, did they? When?
like a week or so ago.
They're
There was
all
a steel
gone?
cage match. The
Okay.
heel squad came in and killed the family.
What's
I
the
don't know
heel
what
squad?
heel squad. Come on. While I tell you these things, you
No
should be
quarter catch
Googling
crew?
it. No, not that. Come on, if I tell you these things and I don't know, I don't watch NXT. You should be Googling while I'm talking about.
I don't
NXT,
watch
because
NXT.
I don't know. Hold on, we're stalling.
We're stalling.
Yusuf,
Mark
save
Allen.
us.
Say what? What do you want me to say?
Save us.
Hi.
He's researching.
What are you arguing about? Let's talk about.
We're not arguing anything.
Oh, okay.
We were saying the family got killed.
Oh yeah,
Tony
the family did
D'Angelo's
get killed.
family.
Yeah, it's a waste of fucking time. Like you put the NXT North American title on Tony D'Angelo beating Oba, right? And you're like, oh, this should be like the biggest push in the world. He's had a couple defenses, I think, and then that steel cage match with Ridge, and then he got attacked because what's her face turned on the family, and now the family
There we
is
go.
dead.
Sean Spears.
Now what?
Did you not know this happened?
It was
Sean
Sean
Spears.
Spears.
crew. There we go.
Yes.
No, because they
Sean
don't have a
Spears.
fucking name. I don't know what the fuck they're doing. They're mid. I don't give a shit about them.
The perfect
chairman.
tens.
The chairman.
Yeah, I know. I know it's all those things, but I still don't care. As much as I
didn't ask
enjoy
you know
if
what?
care. We
To
just-
be fair,
you didn't
to
ask
be
if
fair,
we wanted
To be fair, you don't care. That's fine. Clearly, neither does NXT.
honestly, Brooks Jensen.
Did they even
ass.
acknowledge that?
No.
Yeah, they did.
Did
Oh,
they?
did they?
That they got attacked.
No, they got attacked. Did they acknowledge they got attacked?
Yeah,
This seems
Okay,
viciously
good.
Like the
That's
ninjas.
fine.
Izzy Dame. Fine, whatever. Izzy Dame's fine. I always forget who she is.
Dude,
I always
can
mix her
I-
up with Carmen Petrovich. I'm not gonna lie.
I also
Who?
mix up. I thought you were talking about Carmen Petrovich, and I'm
Yeah.
like, that's not.
I was
that's
like,
not
I
what
just
we
thought,
do.
I just had to second guess for a second, and I was like, wait, isn't she with Ashanti the Adonis?
I'm
Because
not
that's
gonna-
Carmen.
I'll be honest. I'd rather fuck it. I wish that steel cage match with Tony and fucking Ridge and whatever ended.
I wish
with
Ridge won.
ninjas. That
I
too.
wish Ridge won.
I wish Ridge won, and then you ninjas, and then you just end the show.
We could have done ninjas.
We could have done ninjas. We could have.
With that being said,
I would have popped harder. Honestly,
with that being said,
They would've
this has
sold me.
been
Can we sell Oba to ninjas?
this has been an absolutely fucking crazy episode. If you made it this far, just want to thank you very much for getting this far. Let's wrap it up. Let's wrap it up. Do we have any final thoughts
No.
besides
Tim apparently
Oba
would sell a lot of
getting
people.
sold out to ninjas?
for Oba.
You just keep mentioning people that I would actually do it for. I
Wow.
obviously would rather pick Oba, but like I would.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
I don't know if
I mean,
don't know if
Ricky's
we're
not
picking
winning the title
Omos.
off of Oba, so Oba has to drop it to
Absolutely
somebody.
not.
No.
I think Javon is the guy to take it from Oba at the end of the day.
I
And then
just
we
don't
go from
see
there.
how, but it's fine. It won't be for like 2 years. So
Facts. It's
You
gonna
should-
be a
we
while.
should
We'll
at
do it
least
in a
It's gonna be a
while.
while.
with Oba,
But y'all,
though,
thank you so much for
like-
watching this week.
This is such a fucking.
What the fuck is happening?
what happened?
This is a crash course of an episode. No, I was just
What
going
is
to say with
going on?
Oba, before Tyler actually says goodbye here, let Oba have his fun, and then have Oba, before he loses the title, go up, face Gunther, let them chop each other for an hour, and then fucking let him drop the title to whoever you want.
Wow.
If Oba's not in the Rumble next year, I'm gonna fucking lose my mind.
That's fair.
There's no reason
That's
he
fair.
shouldn't be in the Rumble next year.
No, he should have been
I wanna
this
see
year,
him
dude.
strut.
I can't even laugh at that.
I want him to strut down the long ramp of the Rumble
Boom, boom,
with the belt.
boom, boom.
I want everybody in the ring to not do a
Just
thing. We are not.
I want
just
everyone
everybody,
to conga. I want everyone to conga line strut in the
Yeah.
ring. Just like, oh, this guy's fire. This guy's got
And
good music.
And if there's not somebody who is hilarious enough for them to cut to rock to Oba's music, I'm
Sammy.
gonna fucking get mad.
I need Sammy or KO
It's
in the
Sammy.
corner,
Sammy or KO
taken
to be
out
in
like
the
this,
corner.
and just like the camera cuts them, and they're like, bum, bum. Bum,
No, you know it's
bum.
gonna be. It's gonna be
They
Sammy
just
because
they
KO's
do
gonna
the
be.
grunt just under their breath. Just
KO's gonna be in the corner, but then like opens his eyes and kind of like side eyes the ramp of what the fuck is that coming down the ring? Oh no!
Where's Brock when you need him?
Oh god!
This would be a great Brock spot.
Oh man.
Brock would
rock
have
out
so
to
much.
Oba.
Brock would have
Yo,
so
Brock being
he'd be
like,
rocking
yo,
out
this
to
kinda
Oba and be
fire.
like, "Ooh, who's
Oh,
this?"
Big
All
man.
right, before we.
Where's Keith Lee?
I miss.
Oh,
Keith Lee.
he's been popping up in AEW again, but that's a
but
conversation
not
for another
They
time.
didn't-
They didn't
release him?
screen. No,
No, not
somehow,
on screen.
no.
He's been backstage.
Oh.
But he's
But
still.
with that being
like,
said, y'all-
health-wise, not great. So
True.
you can end the show.
Thank y'all so much for watching this week, everyone. If you enjoyed what you listened to this week, you can feel free to follow us on Spotify, on TikTok, on Twitter, all that good shit. Kickout Club Wrestling, you'll find us there. If you're watching on Spotify, leave us a comment and leave a 5-star review wherever you're listening to this. We'd really appreciate it. It's the only way that we're going to grow. If you're watching on YouTube in video format and you got to watch our ugly mugs for almost 2 hours, I'm sorry. But go ahead and like the video, leave a comment, subscribe to us on YouTube. All of your support means the world. It helps a lot. We really appreciate it. That's going to be the show for this week, and we will see you in next week. Hopefully there's more to talk about, because could you tell that this was a slow week? Anyway, y'all, take it easy. Be well. We'll see you next time.
Don't lose the plot.